I want you to think about a time when you've shown over interest in a man and you have pursued him, showed him that you're interested in him, told him that you're interested in him, called him, you were very nice to him. And I want you to think about if that's worked. What has been the result of you showing a man that you were interested in him before him claiming you or, let's say, committing to you? Has it worked? Has he moved into a relationship with you? In my videos, I talk about the masculine and feminine energy dynamic. So I'm not referring to just any man. I am talking about the healthy masculine man. A healthy masculine man is developed in his masculinity and in who he is. He's a confident man. That means that he's going to move toward women and dating and relationships in a very unique way in comparison to, let's say, men that are not developed in their masculinity, men that are more in their feminine energy. These men need more reassurance from a woman. They lack discipline, confidence in who they are. They may also feel very triggered by my messages because, again, they're not the healthy masculine. Now, I want you to think about a time when you have pursued a man in any way before commitment. And I want you to think about the result of that. Did you get what you wanted? Did he commit to you? And if he did, I want you to think about your own personal dynamic. Are you in your healthy feminine? Because a woman that is in her healthy feminine is never going to pursue a man. And I want you to actually assess, is he in his healthy masculine? Because a man that's in his healthy masculine is not going to feel comfortable in a woman pursuing him. In fact, healthy masculine energy, men move toward women and fall in love with women that are hard to get. And in this video, I'm going to lay out some of the reasons why this is the case. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, share, please leave a comment and let me know what your thoughts are. I love hearing from you guys. I also think it's important to spread this message about healthy masculine, feminine energy. And so if you could help me out with that in terms of liking, subscribing, that would be super helpful. And I would really appreciate that. Now, again, I already mentioned in the beginning of our video that I want you to think about what the result has been when you've not played hard to get. When a woman has not played hard to get, oftentimes with masculine energy men, what tends to happen is even if initially they show interest and they move very quickly into the dynamic, what is leading there is not their energy and it's not their hurt, it's their ego. So when you pursue a man and you are making yourself available for him and you find that he's interested in you or interested in it's working, because this can happen, especially before a man figures out himself and figures out what feels good to him, what you'll tend to find is that after the initial phase, and this phase is very short. Let's say it's a few weeks. Once you show him you're interested and you sleep with him, you're physical with him, initially he may like it, but what you might find is that after a period of time, so let's say after a few weeks, even maybe a month, maybe 2 months, it doesn't tend to last that long usually for a man, what will happen is he'll pull away and you'll start wondering where that interest was that he initially gave you. So if initially you messaged a man first or you called him and he liked it and he invited you over, or let's say you guys just moved into something very quickly and initially it was working and he was interested in that, that's not his heart, that's his ego. As soon as he gets you, let's say, what will happen with him is you'll notice that he's pulling away. Now he feels cold. Now he feels disinterested. Again, with a healthy masculine man, that's not going to work. With an insecure man, that will work because, again, an insecure person is going to attract an insecure person and then they'll move into something very quickly and then it'll just develop into a relationship. But again, as I mentioned in my channel, I talk about the healthy masculine, healthy feminine, and the healthy masculine and the healthy feminine just do not operate like that. So we just know that this approach doesn't work, that when we show a man that we're interested, even if initially he seems like he's interested, it doesn't last in the long run. In the long run, he's just to pull away, he seems less interested. Also because as women, we tend to get attached. We get attached through physical closeness, whereas in men don't. And in this video, I'm going to continue to lay out the reasons why men fall in love when you're hard to get. So let's get into reason number 2. The second reason men fall in love when you're hard to get is that masculinity thrives off of purpose and challenge. And when a man is moving towards a woman and he's courting her, and I get into this in what men want, he feels purpose, he feels happy. That's how men feel successful in life. They feel successful when they are the ones making advances towards a woman and they are the ones that have to win her over. That's what makes them feel good. And so a woman that is harder to get enables a man to meet this need. This is a need of a healthy masculine man where they need to be challenged. They need to feel this level of purpose in their life When a woman is very easy to get, this need is not being met. And in order for a man in his masculine energy to feel good, to feel happy within himself, he needs to feel some sort of challenge. We have different needs that will allow us to fall in love. So with a man, it's not so much connection that he needs. He needs to be with a woman that is going to invigorate this aspect of him. And this aspect of him is invigorated with a woman that is harder to get. Now, another reason that men fall in love with women that are hard to get is because this is how an emotional connection is built. The bond for men can only be built through an emotional connection. A man that is fixated on a woman just through lust or limerence or physical contact, that's not a man that's in love. That's his physical needs being met. For a man to fall in love, there needs to be an emotional connection there. He needs to feel close to the woman. A man does not feel close to a woman through intercourse. He just doesn't. Without the emotional connection there first. So if an emotional bond is built and then he's being intimate with a woman, it's a very different experience for a man than if he's just having sex with multiple women. And playboys or men that kind of just live their life sleeping with different women will say that. You might often hear a man saying that he was with all these women, sleeping with them, and it got old. Like it was not fulfilling. And that's because he never met a woman that also created this emotional bond with him. An emotional bond takes time to develop because there's a whole process of meeting each other, getting to know each other, and that takes time to build and to form. And so women that are harder to get are less available. They're not available for conversations all the time. They're not available to have long extended dates. They're not available for long messages all the time. They want to see how a man acts over time and they want to see consistency in a man. So women that are harder to get or feminine women, they naturally provide this challenge to a man because they pace the relationship. So when we're pacing a relationship, men start to really develop healthy feelings for a woman. And a woman that is in her feminine energy, and this is generally a woman that's harder to get, because she has options, she also is waiting to see which man is the most consistent, which man shows up for her. She is getting to know the man emotionally. Now, this cannot happen right away. This takes time to build. And what men want, I talk about what masculine energy men look for. In Secrets of the Feminine Woman, I talk about how to show up as a feminine woman and how to be that woman that men desire. So make sure you get those books. Now, to add to this point, men fall in love through acts of service. So men do not fall in love when women are doing for them. They fall in love when they are doing for women. And again, this takes a period of time. So when a man is incrementally investing in you, over time, this is how he bonds. This is how he starts to fall in love. So this compounds because now there is this emotional connection being built. But on top of that, the woman is allowing him to pursue her and he's investing his time and his resources to her. When a man is investing his time and resources in a woman, he starts to fall in love with her because men fall in love through them doing for the woman. That is masculine energy. So if you find yourself doing for a man who's going to be very passive, very lazy, and he's not really going to be in love with you because men fall in love when they are doing versus feminine energy women don't fall in love when they have to fill in the gap for a man. In fact, that is the biggest turnoff for feminine energy women. If a woman has to help a man in any way, feminine energy women are going to be very turned off by that. Feminine energy women actually trust that men are capable and that a man that is in his masculine energy is going to want to woo her and pursue her. And in his wooing and pursuing her, he is actually falling in love with you because that's what he needs in order to bond with you. So women that are harder to get allow a man to pursue them because they have a high self-esteem, they have high self-worth, and they don't want to help a man woo them. They understand that they're a desirable woman and therefore that a man that meets them, and if it's the right man, is going to put the effort into winning her over. And that feels good both for the woman and for the man. This is why it's also very important to allow a man to court because courting allows this whole process of getting to know each other, creating an emotional bond, a man committing acts of service to please a woman. And in What Men Want, I really get into the courting process. The courting process really helps women and men develop a healthy emotional connection before they commit to each other. Men fall in love with women that are hard to get because, in terms of evolution, our species has survived and continued to evolve through the male performing to get the attention of the woman. It is programmed in our DNA for the man to be performing for the female. If you think about the animal kingdom and nature, it isn't the woman that is going and vying for the male's attention. It's the male that is vying for the woman's attention. And through the different men that are vying for the woman's attention, the female gets to select the best mate for her. It is not the woman that is choosing the man ultimately. It is the male choosing the woman that he wants to be with. And then it is the female that gets to select based on the suitors that have chosen her, which mate is the best mate for her. But again, it is not the woman that is going and choosing the man initially. If the male has not chosen, the female is not going to go and choose the male. It doesn't work that way in nature. It is always the male that is vying for the female's attention, and the female that is picking which suitor is the best mate for her based on strength and other criteria. The weaker males will get weeded out. In masculine feminine dynamics, it's the same thing. A woman that's more in her feminine energy is going to choose the best mate for her. And she's going to do that through a series of tests. Feminine women absolutely test men. And again, I go into this deeper in the books. Feminine women also want to choose the best mate for them. So if things are the other way around, where you were vying for a man's attention, you need to do the inner work. My inner work course was a program that I ran for 6 months. It was thousands and thousands of dollars. I'm making it available as a self-study course now because I won't be doing group work anymore. And at this point, the course is up for $297. Once it's up on the website, the price is going way up. So I recommend, if you notice that there are patterns in your life where a man isn't pursuing and you are the one pursuing, that you get this course and it'll be very helpful for you. Secrets of the Feminine Woman. In that book, I also talk about healing and the inner child. So I also recommend that book. What Men Want is more of a strategy book in that it talks about what masculine men crave in relationships and the masculine energies. Men also get bored with women that make it so easy for them to get. Women that are hard to get, they actually allow a man to feel interested, and it allows a man to feel that spark to continue to pursue a woman. When a woman is so easy to win over, what happens is the man gets bored. He's not interested anymore. An example of this, which was so interesting, the other night I was watching a Friends episode with my partner, and Rachel was pregnant and Rachel was living with Joey, and Joey wanted Rachel to stay in the apartment. And Rachel was like, no, it's not going to be conducive for you when you're dating and bringing women over if there's a baby that's like screaming. And you know what Joey said? Joey said, that would serve as a challenge for me because it's getting very boring. And it highlighted everything I speak about so perfectly, because Joey is a desirable man. Joey's a masculine energy man. Joey gets a lot of women, and it's very easy for him to sleep with women. That's the whole premise of his character in the show, right? When he's saying that having Rachel around with a baby will pose as a challenge for Joey and it'll get more interesting because it's really boring now where he can just bring a woman over and very easily sleep with her, that again highlights that masculine energy men need some sort of challenge. Now, again, men that are not developed in their masculinity, men that are insecure, men that do not have luck with women, it'll be very different because they're not able to get a woman. I'm not speaking about those men in this video. I'm talking about the healthy energy feels good about themselves. They feel confident, and therefore they want some sort of challenge, especially in them falling in love. When a woman is just so easy to get, men don't feel that sense of challenge. And again, it goes against their biological sense of being free. And I get into this more in What Men Want, because a man wants to feel free. So if he's going to go and commit to a woman, then the reason he's going to commit to the woman is because she met all of his needs. And last but not least, a man needs to feel good about himself. He wants to feel proud of himself. And a man that is able to win the heart of a woman that is harder to get, is very desirable to other men. What happens with a masculine energy man? He starts to feel proud of himself. He thinks to himself, wow, this woman could get any man that she wants. And in all the men that she could get, she's choosing me. That feels so good. Men want that sense of accomplishment within themselves. And when they start to feel that accomplishment within themselves, they end up falling in love with a woman. they don't get that feeling when a woman is so much easier to get. So I hope this video provided a lot of insight to you. If you want to go deeper, I definitely recommend reading my books. I definitely also recommend doing the inner work. Without inner work, everything is games, everything is strategy. And even if you know something or you have an awareness of it, you have an awareness of leaning back or not pursuing a man, if you don't do the inner work, then what's going to happen is it doesn't matter what you know, your habitual patterning is just going to go and repeat the same behaviors over and over again. So awareness is so big. I stress inner work. You cannot be in your feminine energy without doing the inner work, because when you do your inner work, you end up being balanced in who you are. And when you're balanced in who you are, you feel a sense of self-worth and pride within yourself. And so you naturally be a challenge to a man because you care and love yourself too much to give yourself away to a man that does not work for you. Okay, I love you, my loves, and I will see you soon.